Hey guys, Kaz here, and today I'm doing my April TBR. So in April I am participating in another readathon. This one I couldn't say no to. It's just such a cool, fun vibe. Get on it. It seems like it's gonna be one that's gonna like happen more and more over the time. But yeah, this is called the D&D Tomes and Treasures readathon. So this round of the readathon is all about creating your own character. I am going to be extra non-creative and just do the character that I already play in D&D. But there's loads of really fun prompts and stuff. I'll leave all the stuff below. But basically, you make all your different things. Your race, your class, your spells. Just like, there's so many different prompts. And you can mix and match and it's really fun. And yeah, obviously all of the info down below, including the creators. Ashley's Bookish Life and The Creepy Geek. So yeah, let's just get into it because there are 10 things I have to read for this round. What's really cool though is throughout, from now until forever, you can collect coins and stuff so you can buy things. It's very cool. But yeah, anyway, so the first prompt is what race you are. My character, Tentacles, is a half elf, but your usual half elf, the other half is human, but with Tentacles the other half is giant colossal squid, so it's very fun. Tentacles, you get it? But the prompt for this one is a book that fits more than one genre, and for that one I'm going with An Arrow to the Moon by Emily XR Pan. This one, on the back, the tagline is, after the first bit, filled with romance, magic and Chinese mythology. So I feel like romance is a genre and magic is a genre, fantasy, and it's also a retelling. People use that as a genre, so more than one genre. This is also on my 2024 TBR, so I wanted to make sure I definitely got a few books off there onto my TBRs. I'm trying to do 2 a month to make sure I hit the 24 books, so I don't just leave them all to the end like I do normally. But yeah, what I know about this is pretty much what it says here. It's a Romeo and Juliet retelling, but Chinese mythology. Make it Chinese, make it mythology. And that is my knowledge. But I'm interested. I know other people seem to like this author's work. There was another one that she did and everybody loved it. The Astonishing Colour of After, it's right there at the back. I've not read that one, but I will be reading this one. Next up we have class, and my class is a warlock. There are loads of different ones. Some of them are magical, some of them are not magical, but I am magical, obviously. And the prompt for warlock is a book dealing with a deal between 2 people. Not gonna lie, I actually stole this idea from Ashley when she did one of her recommendations because I didn't even think about this. But I'm going to reread The Wicked and Divine Volume 1. I read this so many years ago, about 5 years ago or something. I recently picked up the next few volumes, so I thought, reread this one. It was done as an example of something that would work for this prompt, so let's go. I can't remember what deals were made, which means I definitely need to reread it. But yeah, this is a graphic novel series, and basically every 90 years the gods come down. They're like pop stars, rock stars, stuff happens. Apparently there's a deal between 2 people. There you go. And of course, here is the artwork. When we're talking about graphic novels, I like to show you what it looks like. There you go, without too many spoileries. I definitely peppered this TBR with a few graphic novels because 10 books. I'm not the fastest reader, guys. Especially when I just dick about doing other stuff and not read. Next up we have background, and my background is being a little bit of a crim. I'm a bit of a criminal. One of the things in my background as my story is that I went and destroyed loads of like seafood places and let all of the animals free. The watery animals. I get annoyed when people are like holding watery creatures for their own gain. So yeah, I'm a criminal. And the prompt for this is obviously a book with the crimmy vibes. And for that one, I'm reading Deadly Class Volume 8. Not gonna lie, when did I read Volume 7? So many years ago. Am I gonna remember what happened? Probably not. But I want to read this. I'm sure, like, I know the basic premise, but it's really annoying because Deadly Class is one of those comic series that they never go cheap. You never find them secondhand cheap. They're still bare expensive, which is why it takes me so long to read them, because I wait until someone buys them for me. Because I was looking at the one after this, I was like, oh, I don't want to be spending that much on something that's this thin and, you know, doesn't take that long. So yeah, it's been a while since I read it, but I really enjoyed this series and I do want to carry on. I do have this volume, so let's read it. The crim vibes. This is about a school for assassins. How much more crim do you want to get? Now let's go to one of the first pages and hope I don't spoil anything for you. It is volume 8, but I want to show you what it looks like. Very different vibes from the last one. But this is the sort of artwork we have in here. Next up we have upbringing environment. In my actual D&D game, I don't actually have this as a thing, but like when I saw Arctic as one of the choices, obviously I had to pick Arctic. Exhibit A, you can't see it, but these two shelves are all books about the Arctic. So it makes sense because you have to read a book set in that space. So obviously Arctic. And guys, you know how I said there's 10 books on here and I'm not a fast reader and sometimes I just don't read for ages and just watch YouTube instead? Well, this is probably the most unwise book to put on this TBR, but it's on my 2024 TBR and I do want to read it. There are 2 other Arctic books on there, but I feel like they're going to be heavier because they're more like biography based. I'm not reading that like 900-page Shackleton book in this with all these other books going on, but what I am reading apparently is this. For some reason it's the book that I've decided to put on here. It's like 5 kilograms. But yeah, this is the Nansen photograph, so hopefully there's a lot of pictures in here, but I know there's definitely words as well. Let me just give you a little flick. So look, some of the pages are full picture, so surely it won't take me that long, right? But then there's words and stuff as well, and pictures. But yeah, because there's loads of pictures in here as well, I feel like it's not going to be as time consuming in the reading variety as if I picked one of the other 2 Arctic-y books on my 2024 TBR or any of the other like Arctic-y books. So, and I do need to read this one. We shall see. It's definitely not one I'm going to take to work with me to read on my breaks, that's for sure. Oh yeah, I didn't even tell you what this is about. So Fridtjof Nansen was an explorer and he went the farthest north until somebody then found the actual North Pole. But he's known as the grandfather of Arctic explorers because he was really good and loads of people took loads of his things that he did and used it and then won and that. So yeah, I got this at the Fram Museum, which is a museum based around the boat that he was on. The boat's in there, the museum's built around the boat. It's really cool. It's in Oslo in Norway. Go to it, it's really good. So after that we've got deity. Which god are you subscribing to? And I think it goes without saying, the god of the sea, obviously. Tentacles. Half colossal squid, you know what I mean? So this is a book with water on the cover. Makes sense. I actually vibe with Cthulhu in D&D, so it doesn't say his name specifically, but we're gonna say it's Cthulhu. And the book that I've chose to read for that one is Daughter of the Deep by Rick Riordan. I've had this for like 2 years now, I think. It's Rick Riordan. Why have I not read it? It's a standalone. Why have I not read it? It's got a really cool cover, if you can see it without all of the shine on it. Look at him. Why have I not read it? You know what I mean? I don't really even know what this is about. It's about some cool water stuff and then there's this guy. So yeah, and it's a standalone. It's Rick Riordan. Words. So yes, that is the one I'm reading for this one. Hopefully, because this is, I don't even know if this is middle grade. I'm just guessing that because it's Rick Riordan, but there's every possibility that it's not. But I'm guessing it's middle grade, so I'm hoping that it doesn't take too long to read. So just a quick summary. There's an academy, there's a rival school, there's a Captain Nemo, and some other words, enemies, freshmen, and that's all I'm reading because I don't like reading the back because it's boring. So yeah, that is what I'm reading for this prompt, and that is 5 prompts, so obviously we're halfway through, which means it's time for one of the sponsors. Here they are, and then I'll be back. There you go. So next up we have alignment, and obviously I'm chaotic neutral. What other alignment is there, you know what I mean? And the prompts for this, like each of the things has a different prompt and then you add them both together. So chaotic is one and neutral is one, and both of them together is a book with orange and white on them. And I know what you're thinking, I very easily could have read The Foxhole Court, but I'm not gonna. I do want to reread that series, but I'm gonna wait, hopefully, it's not towards the end of the year too much. But I'm going to wait and read the fancy versions that I did buy. So instead of that, this book is also very orange and very white. I'm going to be reading this one. This is And Away by Bob Mortimer. I got this year as well, hauled this year. You'll love to see it. We try and do the 50% read of the hauled stuff each year, so that is adding on to this. This is an autobiography. Bob Mortimer is a hilarious person, and I'm very much looking forward to this because I feel like it's just going to be really fun and silly and great. And it's very white and orange, so it's perfect really. And again, I'm hoping this one is not going to be too dense and heavy like some biographies might be, because it's Bob Mortimer. I feel like it's just going to be really fun to read. If you don't know who he is, go on YouTube, type in "Would I Lie to You, Bob Mortimer," and have the best time of your life. Just saying. So the next prompt is armour, and because I'm a warlock, I'm only allowed light armour, so this prompt chose itself for me. And for light armour prompt, it is a book with a light / pale colours on the cover, and I feel like this counts. I have Right Where I Left You by Julian Winters, so it looks kind of bright, but it's very pastel-y. So it definitely works for pale, right? It does, I'm saying. And yeah, I also don't know anything about this book. Julian Winters, for me, has been very sort of like, you know, so I did say last time I read one of his books, I do enjoy them. Normally I give them like a 3.5, but I've read either 2 or 3 of his books, and it always takes me a while to warm to his characters, and it feels like the first part of it is just kind of happening. And I did say, because I already own this one, I'm going to give this one a read, and if this one is the same, like I enjoy it at the end, but it also takes me a while and it's not like amazing, I feel like I'm probably going to stop with Julian Winters books. I enjoy them to a point, but they're never something that I'm like, wow, that's really amazing, I'm so looking forward to his next book, you know? So I thought, perfect time, put it on here and see what's going on. So yeah, I don't know anything about this one. I probably do. Let me look. Comic book store, I feel like, is a thing. Oh, Legends Con. I think they go to a con, a Comic Con or something like that. I'm not reading it, but yeah. Sometimes you have to read between the panels. That sounds comic-y. So hopefully that is going to be something that is enjoyable, because I do enjoy a comic, as you can tell. I've had a few on here already. So yeah, that is for this prompt, and fingers crossed I really enjoy it. And if I don't, then that's the end of you, Julian Winters. But only for me though, I'm sure other people love you. Moving on. So the next 2 prompts are both in a similar vibe. So you get 2 spell slots / weapon slots. You can have 1 spell and 1 weapon. 2 spells. Obviously I'm going to have 2 spells, even though whenever I try and roll for spells, I just never do them. I'm terrible. I'm really good if I need to talk to somebody. My charisma's like, but if I try and Eldritch Blast anything, I'm like, I rolled a 3. I ain't doing fuck all. But yeah, let's try and do some spells. So the first one I chose was Detect Magic. This is something that's really good to have. See what's occurring. And this one is a character that finds out about magic for the first time. And I believe this fits in, because it is the first book in the series. And look how, oh my god, that's fucking garish. It's this one. It says get ready for the Year of the Dragon, but that's not what it is. So then you do this. And this is what it is. It is Paper Dragons, The Fight for the Hidden Realm by Siobhan McDermott. Are you going to focus at all? Are you going to show the people? There you go, that's what the book is. It just has this random thing on because it's an arc, I think. Yes, it came out in February. So yeah, I don't know if this is the first in a series or if it's not a series, but because of the vibe of it, there's a hidden realm. I'm feeling like the character maybe doesn't know there's a realm that's hidden, and then they find out it's hidden and then magic. I've not read it yet, I don't know, I might be making this up, but I feel like it fits the vibe. It's cool, and also it's taking place underwater, so it also fits my whole vibe as well. We've got the water dragon guy. On the back we've got some jellies, so perfect. Oh, it's another Chinese legend as well, which is fun. So we've got 2 Chinese legends this month. And my knowledge about this is slim to none, because you'll hear more about it in my haul. But I took a bunch of my books that I unhauled months ago, and they've just been in a box, in a bag. I took them to a book swap and I picked up a few things, and this is one of the things I picked up, so I have no idea what it's about. But it's a middle grade, and I enjoy middle grades, and I don't read as many. So I got one. I got a couple actually. You'll see in my haul. But yeah, haul it, read it. Exactly. And then for the other spell slot, I've gone with Silent Image, which is not just because the prompt is read a graphic novel, which means I can have another thin graphic novel on here. It's also because I do actually, I have used that in the past. Make a silent image, freak people out. So yeah, I just told you what it's for. It's a really graphic novel. So I've got The Wicked and Divine, Volume 2 on here. Keep reading the series. It sounds perfect. I've only ever read book 1, so reread that one, read this one. I have 3 and 4 also that I hold this year. So yeah, I want to start like getting these graphic novel series read. It's hard because they are expensive and I'm so like to pick them up, but I managed to find these book 3 and 4 for pretty decent prices, like £4, which is good because Deadly Class is so fucking hard. They're all like 9, 10, 11. I'm like, bro, it's second hand, what are you on about? But yeah, this one is the next one and the one I've already told you about, so there you go, you already know what this is about. Gods being stars. There you go. But that is not all. That's 9. That's not 10 books. What? So the last prompt is you roll a d20. So in my little spreadsheet, I have put in little quotes, take a chance, roll the dice, because critical role. So basically you just write out a bunch of books that you want to read or you don't want to read, and then roll a d20, and then that is the one that's deciding your fate. So the way I did it is, because the higher your roll is the better, obviously, the last 10, like from 11 to 20 on the dice, are all graphic novels, because I feel like they're going to be the easiest thing to read. And then books 1 to 10, they're just normal books. They're not horrific. They're not like 4,000 pages, because what's the point of doing that? I know I'm not going to read it. But they're all books, so they're going to take me a bit longer. So yeah, here's the roll, and then I'll tell you about the book. So I have my d20. This is from the set that I like to use when I'm playing Tentacles, because it has the blue, it has the like charcoaly black, which is like the ink, squid ink. You love to see it. Let's roll. I got a 2. How fucking rude. It means I don't have a graphic novel. What I do have, let me just have a look in here, is Mr. Monday. So I'm going to be starting another series. Lovely. So not the best, not the worst, almost the worst. 2 is very, very almost the worst. But in terms of the book, it's only this big. It's not horrific. It does mean I'm starting another series, and I have a bunch that I've already started, but I do own all of these series, so it's probably a good idea to actually read them. I've had the whole stack of 7 books. Obviously there's 7 books. It's called Mr. Monday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Obviously there's 7. I've had these for several years, so it's probably a good idea to read them, but also like stop starting new series, you know what I mean? I don't really know much about this. It's obviously some sort of fantasy stuff. I don't even know what sort of age range it is. I'm feeling like it might be middle grade to YA, only because of the size of it. I've read a few Garth Nix things in the past, so yeah, hopefully it's good. Keys to the Kingdom, this series is called, so it's going to be something to do with keys, magic keys, doing magic things, and that's my knowledge. So the tagline here is 7 days, 7 keys, 1 mysterious book, 1 strange house filled with secrets. So it might be kind of fun. Hopefully it is kind of fun. But yeah, that is the last book on this humongous TBR. Am I going to read them all? We'll see, we'll try. We will try. At least I managed to get several graphic novels in there and a few middle grade, you know. We shall see. So there we go. That is my TBR for this readathon. Let me know down below if you're interested in this readathon, if you're participating. It's very much a new one. It's just been announced like last month. It's very new. Not as many eyes have got to it. So if you see this and you're like, wow, that sounds really cool. They are planning on doing more. And in the announcement videos, they were saying like, oh, you can carry on doing the prompts like for the next however many months until the next round, and then like gather your things. So specifically, personally for me, I've got all the stuff written down in a spreadsheet, and I'm just going to mark them down as and when I read other books. So like for gathering coin and stuff, there's really simple things like drink a hot beverage. Do you know how much tea I drink? I'm having all of the coppers. Or like each age range is one. So if you read a middle grade, you get a copper. If you read a YA, you get a silver. If you read an adult, you get gold. So it's like really easy, you don't have to put effort in. And then the spell list, you can build up these spells over the next however many months until the next round. So I just got a list there, and once I read a book, I'm going to have a look on the list, and if it fits one of the categories, I'm just going to tick it. Boom. So yeah, get involved. It's really fun. Even if you've never played D&D before, it's really fun. All of the like stuff that the creators have made for this readathon is so good. Even if you don't know anything about D&D, they've made like little handbooks, and it's just really well presented, which will obviously be linked down there in Google Docs. So yeah, let me know down below what you're reading in April. If you've read any of these, what are your thoughts? What are you reading? Do the things if you want, subscribe if you want, like if you want, comment if you want, but only if you want. And I will be back in a few days with another video.